Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. So, Shalom, shalom. It's your brother MACCABEES. You already know what this is. This is Trumpets of Zion, T.O.Z. I want to give all praise to the Most High through the name of his beloved Son. Like I said, some people say Yahuwah, Yahushua. Some say Yahweh, Yahushai. Regardless, just want to give all praises. Alright, calling you Negroes scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. We are the true chosen people of the Most High, the Israelites. Okay, repent, for the kingdom is at hand. Alright, also calling any submissive Gentiles that want to take hold of the covenant and worship the true and living God. Okay, not dealing with no religion or anything like that, and dealing with the truth. Again, that we are the chosen people. Welcome as well. Okay, Jew and Gentile. So, this video, which this is just the intro to a video that I've done, years ago, which was basically the volume 1 of Deuteronomy 28 and 68, and I had edited and wanted to put it on this channel. It was originally on the Scriptures No Vain Opinions channel, and I'm just editing it and re-uploading. But some of the things I said in here, I've, not necessarily retracted. Not really saying I'm retracting, but I've done research since then. And, I was saying a lot of broad statements as, now in regards to the and this is what it's about, the Josephus and Titus. Now, the Josephus doesn't really make mention of Jews being put on ships and sent to Egypt. Though it talks about Titus heavily, and it talks about Titus sending Jews to Italy and Rome, and that's what I bring out in the video. Now you have the Roman historian MUNTER that speaks about the Jews going to Egypt by ship, which is an account, as well as you have the third MACCABEES 4th chapter, which also speaks of Jews going to Egypt by ships with Ptolemy. Okay, so I'm not denying that Jews actually went to Egypt, because I know we get caught up saying that we walked out of Egypt. So there's the only time Deuteronomy 28 and 68 can only mean the transatlantic slave trade, which is twofold. Okay, my point also is saying that these people that talk about Deuteronomy 28 and 68, they bring up that during the Roman Empire, but no one said, it was fulfilled during the time of Ptolemy. Okay, because like I said, third Maccabees brings that out, which when I deal with that, there's something in particular that I wanted to touch when I bring that up, which that's going to be the 4th volume, because like I said, I seen a video recently, and again, it's our people still making these false videos on Deuteronomy 28 and 68 and trying to deny, and discredit the facts and try to say, Hebrew Israelites are lying and all of this kind of stuff, which videos like this and the next 2 volumes plus the volume 4 will shut everything down. So if anyone hasn't watched it before on Scriptures No Vain Opinions, which I'm putting it on here now. All right, so, and also I want to deal with the third Maccabees in regards to, quote unquote Latino only, so that are calling us Canaanites and trying to say that, that it was fulfilled there, which the point for you clowns trying to say that we're Canaanites, as well as these Christian apologists and, Israelites that, still want to be stuck in Christianity. The Jews were called or the color of the Ethiopians, descended from the Ethiopian. I've shown it many times by the Greeks and the Romans. So regardless if it was a fulfillment and Jews actually went to literal Egypt, which did happen, they were black. Okay, so they went and they also were shipped to Rome, as well as shipped to Carthage, which is also in Africa. So, it's showing you the twofoldness that yes, ships can happen, or they were sent on ships multiple places. Okay, and with the Marranos and the Latinos, showing that the Marranos, which were Jews, were also sent on ships to places like the Caribbean and Africa. Okay, so and that will be volume 2, but that is a cut. It's just showing you the twofoldness. Okay, so, and then you have many scriptures like Isaiah 11. We will be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, backing up Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Okay, and then you have 28 and 64, as well as Luke 21 and 24. Okay, so how else can we be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, one end of the earth to the other, without slave ships or without ships? Okay, so it's just showing you the error of these men. Now, even the brother was trying to say Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Now, Egypt, we say it's how the word Egypt does. Yes, it does not mean slavery or anything like that, but it's compared to it. Okay, so yes, Exodus 20 and 2 is valid, as well as Deuteronomy 4 and 20. Okay, because it's compared to an iron furnace. The Most High says the iron furnace. Does it mean that the meaning of Egypt means iron furnace? No. Okay, but that it's a place of resentment. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, and then we use the example of, look at your dollar bill. Yeah, America is spiritually Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It takes on some of the customs, just like it does with Babylon, Rome. It takes the customs of a lot of wicked kingdoms, past kingdoms. Okay, so it's just it's mind-boggling, and it's funny because still all this commotion over Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Trying to say it's not the slave trade, which, again, is clear that it is. And yes, like I said, I'm not denying that Jews were sent, which, again, third Maccabees. Okay, yes, they were sent, but as I said before, they were black people. Okay, point blank, period. Okay, but you have all these sources, of Jews being in Africa, Jews being in Europe. You have the catacombs of Jews being black, menorahs, all of that underground. Okay, everything, in Europe, all of the iconoclasm, the whitewashing of all the images, the black images. Okay, so if they were that first, where did they go? Okay, so they just escaped. They disappeared from the earth now. No. Okay, so this is going for Jew and Gentile that continue to make videos trying to discredit facts. So, so this video, like I said, is volume 1, and like I said, I said some, I made a lot of broad statements like, there is no mention of, ships going to Egypt, which, like I said, I'm retracting that. That's why I'm making this intro, so when you are watching the video, you can get, okay, he said that years back, but like I said, I'm going to deal with, the MUNTER account and third Maccabees in the 4th volume, along with other scriptures, and just kind of reiterating and bringing it on home. Like I said, that'll probably be the last one. All right, so like I said, so enjoy the video, take notes. Like I said, it's still a lot of good information. Like I said, mainly when I'm talking about there's no mention of a ship going to Egypt. You can, like I said, that was said a while back ago, even though, like I said, the Josephus doesn't really make mention of it. You know what I'm saying? So in that aspect, yes, because he does talk about Ptolemy, and when you read that, and he talks about the Ptolemy account, which is in, third Maccabees as well. Okay, so that Jews, but he doesn't necessarily talk about ships, but he talks about different voyages of Titus, and like I said, Jews being shipped over to Rome. Okay, so like I said, so that's pretty much what I wanted to speak on, and like I said, just enjoy the video. Any concerns or comments, leave them in the comment board. With that, shalom. So let's get into Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. All right, so it says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." Okay, so like I said, this is going into, and another thing is the curses as well. A lot of this stuff that's going on with these lies that are being taught is that the curses are a one-time thing. Like the curse can only be fulfilled here, or the curse could be fulfilled here. Even in Revelation, it tells you, especially Revelation the 21st chapter, when Israel is back on top and the kingdom, because when you read that, it shows the kingdom and the gates of the children of Israel, but it says there will be no more a curse. So the curse is an ongoing thing. But matter of fact, before I get back into Deuteronomy, let's go to Daniel 9. And I brought this out in my the first Deuteronomy 28 verse 68 video. So this is Daniel 9 and 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the laws of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. So it says, therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the laws of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. So was this in Rome? No. So it was in Babylon. So just to further show that the curses was an ongoing thing. But like I said, in the next two parts, I'm going to show that, again, those Jews that were put in captivity were Israelites, especially from coming from the Moors and like I said, the Moranos, the Latinos that were they had ruled all of Europe, but more importantly, I'm more so touching into the Spain and Portugal aspect. But so this is matter of fact, let me go to the Apocrypha real quick. So this is Baruch 1 and 20. Wherefore the evils cleaved unto us, and the curse which the Lord appointed by Moses his servant at the time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt, to give us a land that floweth with milk and honey, like as it is to see this day. Okay, so again, this, and when you read the first verse tells you it was wrote in Babylon. Alright, so I'm gonna try to speed it up and get to the nitty gritty pretty much. But this is Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. And another thing I want to point out is a lot of stuff that is written is also written for different appointed times. So when you read like Baruch here, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, it's basically like future talk. I don't know the correct word, but basically that though it was said back then, it can apply to now. Okay, so behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. Okay, and hear Israel the commandments of life, give ear to understand wisdom. Okay, so again, why we went into captivity was for leaving the law, statutes, and commandments. But yet these men want to say we don't have to keep the laws no more. The laws are done away with. But yet we're still under the curse because we left the commandments and because we left the commandments and the law, statutes, and commandments. So and that's what I'm gonna show also with the Moranos, like you clowns that are coming against us and trying to stick this Christianity back on us, and you black Hebrew Israelites, you teaching false doctrine, or you all this stuff about us. But again, with the Moranos, which were Jews, which were black, which I'm gonna show, they were forced to do Christianity. So and they were still trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments in the Israelite custom. So again, you're not doing nothing but helping the slave master. All right, you're not coming against us. You're coming against your own nationality. The Most High said He will wake us up in our captivity and bring us back to our nationality. So y'all not doing what the Lord said to do. But I mean, it's not for everyone. The Most High is not dealing with everyone. But I mean, for y'all to keep coming at us, I mean, Like I know brothers have made videos and did things, but yeah, I'm just gonna rip y'all apart, man. But so from there, matter of fact, let's go back to Deuteronomy. Or matter of fact, so we know Deuteronomy 28 and 68. So a lot of people are liking to say that Deuteronomy 28 verse 68 was fulfilled not only with Rome, but you got a lot of people saying it was fulfilled here in Jeremiah 42 and 43. Now let's read. Let's see if there's a ship mentioned. And I'm going to just get to the point. This is Jeremiah 42 and 15. And now therefore hear the word of the Lord, ye remnant of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, if ye wholly set your faces to enter into Egypt and go to sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye feared shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt, and the famine whereof ye were afraid shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there ye shall die. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go to y'all. You can read that on your own time, but let's just see how did they go into Egypt by captivity? Were they in captivity by another nation, by the Babylonians? Did they get thrown and put over there, or did they go by their own will? Let's see what the scripture says. Okay, so this is Jeremiah, and I'm going to start at the first verse, 43 and 1. And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking unto all the people all the words of the Lord their God, for which the Lord their God has sent him to them, even all these words. So again, for those, you can't speak. Oh, those aren't the words of the Lord, or you know, the Most High sent the prophets to speak His word. So that goes hand in hand with Hosea, I believe 10 and 12, or 12 and 10. Okay, so just showing you that the Most High sent the prophets to speak the words. All right, so verse 2. Then spake Azariah the son of Hoshea, and Johanna the son of Karan, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, Thou swearest, speakest falsely. The Lord our God hath not sent thee to say, Go not into Egypt to sojourn there. But Baruch the son of Neriah sitteth thee on against us, for to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death and carry us away captive into Babylon. Okay, so Israel is saying, man, nah, that's not what the Most High said. He didn't say all of that. Y'all trying to get us to pretty much go in captivity with the Babylonians. So here's what they did. So Johanna the son of Kariah and all the captains of the forces and all the people obeyed not the voice of the Lord to dwell in the land of Judah. So I mean, where's they went to captivity or anything like that. But here we go. Verse matter of fact, I'm going to go to verse 7. Get to the point. So they came into the land of Egypt, for they obeyed not the voice of the Lord. Thus came they even to Tarpiphanes. So where's the ship at? I didn't see. And I said, I'm going to have a lot of y'all like this. I'm going to have a lot of y'all. Well, Josephus, see, listen, you black Hebrew Israelites. See, Josephus, he said that the Jews were sent in Egypt by ships. Well, there's no mention of a ship. Well, in Jeremiah 42, it was fulfilled. It was fulfilled in Jeremiah 42. There's no mention of a ship. Well, Hosea 8 says it. Hosea 8 and 3, there's no ship mentioned there. Damn you, black Hebrew Israelite. Nah, but that's how I'm gonna have a lot of y'all, man, cause y'all liars. I mean, like just like with my the last video showing y'all nothing but liars. You dudes refuting black Hebrew. Y'all coons. You're not doing nothing. You're not coming up with knowledge. You're not saying that, and everything. Every breakdown you're breaking down. You're breaking the scriptures down wrong. Dudes talking about yoke of iron, and all this kind. Like, first of all, in the curses, a yoke of iron will be on our necks. But also, yes, a yoke can represent like the burden, also the captivity. But it says a yoke of iron around. And then obviously when you see that in our captivity, literally it's a yoke of iron on our neck. But it also can represent, but for y'all to teach just madness like it's not applying to us, it's just stupidity, man, on your part. But it's just, that's how a lot of y'all gonna be, man, after this video is done. So y'all, none of y'all, and even you Edomites, you so-called white people that make videos as well, oh, you black Hebrew Israelites refuted and all of this kind of stuff, y'all a bunch of liars. So but just to show that there was no mention of a ship. Okay, and then also I wanted to add like, for instance, the whole thing with eating our children during the Roman Empire, that can also be found in Baruch, the 2nd chapter, verses 1 through 4, Jeremiah 19 and verse 9, also 2 Kings 2, 24 through 30, and then also the siege, because people thinking the word siege is automatically, oh, the Roman Empire. No, that was happening during the time of Babylon. 2 Chronicles 32, 9 through 10, back to 2 Kings 6, 24 through 30. And then also Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, as I brought out in the last video, is not talking about the literal land of Egypt, because you have scriptures and future prophecies like Jeremiah 23, 5 through 8, Isaiah 11 through 12. I was going to read all these, but I'm going to get to the history. But and also Matthew 24, 31. All right, showing you that the Lord is going to gather us from one end of the earth to the other. Okay, so let's go into the Josephus. All right, so this is book 6, and I'm going down to chapter 9. Okay, so chapter 9, and it's verse. So I believe it's verse 3. Okay. All right. So it's verse 2. Okay. So I'm gonna get to the point. So this Fronto slew all those that had been seditious and robbers who were impeached one by another. But of the young men he chose out the tallest and most beautiful, and reserved them for the triumphant. And as for the rest of the multitude that were above 17 years old, he put them into bonds and sent them to the Egyptian mines. Okay. Titus also sent a great number into the provinces as a present to them, that they might be destroyed upon their theaters by the sword and by wild beasts. Okay, so like the gladiators and stuff like that. But those that were under 17 years of age were sold for slaves. Okay, so that's the point, is the Egyptian mines, because this is what people like to bring out. Oh, he sent them to the Egyptian mine. But again, there's no mention of a ship. It said he put them into bonds and sent them to eat the Egyptian mines. Now, here's a map. So here's Jerusalem, and then here's Egypt. There's no real reason for him to send a ship and then go all the way around just to get here. And again, many times in the scriptures, obviously, what I just read in Jeremiah, they went and there was no mention of a ship. You can walk down there. But I'm afraid somebody might, oh, how do you know that? You know, because and the thing is, this is what people are saying, that he sent them by ship. But again, there's no mention of a ship. But I'm going to show that Titus, he went to Egypt by crossing the desert. So from there, let me get so I'm gonna show again. So Ptolemy, during the time of Ptolemy, matter of fact, and I'll get in this chapter 1, and I'm just dropping down where I have the mouse at, the cursor. So but when Ptolemy had taken a great many captives, both from the mountainous parts of Judea and from the places about Jerusalem and Samaria and the places near Mount Gerizim, led them all into Egypt and settled them there. Okay, so again, we see, and we can look at the map and see, this is the wrong map. Hold on. Let me get this other map up. Okay, so as we can see again, that here's Jerusalem and here's Egypt. There's no real reason to take a ship to here. So just showing with the Titus thing and with the Ptolemy, which the Ptolemy, that was before. Now this is the book is called Jews and Judaism in African History by Richard Hull. So this is page 17. I'm gonna get to the point again. Soter, this is Ptolemy Soter, okay, established, where my cursor is, that's where I'm starting at. Soter established the Greek Ptolemaic dynasty, which would rule over Egypt until 30 BCE, when Rome annexed Egypt to its own empire. There was a huge influx of Jews into Egypt during the reign of Ptolemy the first, Soter, who is reported to have brought back 100,000 prisoners of war after his conquest of Palestine in the early 300s. Okay, many became slaves of his soldiers. All right, so just going back to what was just read in Josephus. So how come no one says that it was fulfilled here? And that's just showing all of a sudden it's fulfilled in Titus, but then it's not fulfilled there. So the Jews that were being brought to Egypt, since y'all want to say that it was a ship, which I just showed that there was no mention of a ship, but since y'all want to read that and say there's ships and he sent them by ship, then how come y'all don't say that Soter did the same thing, but there's no mention of a ship? Okay, so from there I'm gonna go to so I'm gonna go to book 7, but I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna get this, and then I'm gonna get this. All right, so this is Jewish Slaves and the Roman Economy by Rita Bay. It says, in the Jewish War in 66 to 70 CE, 97,000 Jewish people were enslaved. The Emperor Vespasian brought 20,000 Jewish slaves to Rome after the Romans destroyed Jerusalem and the temple. And this is what I was saying to a dude. He trying to make that whole thing with Egypt stick, but I was like, he took slaves to Rome. So how come you didn't? And it's more. And I'm gonna show that it was more logical to take ships going from, whether it was going from Egypt to Rome or Italy, which I'm about to show right here, or from Jerusalem to Rome, which basically is the same place. Okay, so that's more logical than sending slaves from Jerusalem to Egypt by ship. Okay, so this is all right, let me finish. But it says, after the Romans destroyed Jerusalem and the temple, the Ark of Titus depicts a menorah as part of the plunder from Jerusalem. Vespasian and his successor Titus used the slaves to build the Roman Colosseum. Okay, so just like again, and this showing y'all not spiritual, man. The same kind of stuff that's happened to us back then during the Roman is happened. We built a lot of the things here. Okay, so it's just you can't get around that. But that's the point I wanted to get. That he sent a lot of them to Rome, which here it goes. So this is from the book Our Young Folks, Josephus, the Antiquity of the Jews and the Jewish Wars of Flavius Josephus. All right, so this is page 464, and again where I'm at with the cursor. Yeah. So now, Titus now made haste towards Egypt, and crossing the desert with great speed. So crossing the desert, and didn't say nothing about he crossed the sea. He soon reached Alexandria. So bringing back this, so crossing the desert, because when you read, because I'm just getting to the point, but when you read the paragraph before, it tells you here, on his way thither, Titus passed by Jerusalem, okay, and as he surveyed the ruins, he could not help thinking of the beautiful city that had formerly stood there, okay. But back down here, so it says, crossing the desert with great speed, he soon reached Alexandria. Here he dismissed his 2 legions and set sail for Italy. Okay, so we know that Italy is obviously over here. So he's in Alexandria, and as you see, Italy. So it says he set sail. So he would most likely be crossing over here. But there's something that is a straight dagger. Now it says, the 2 leaders, Simon and John, with 700 Jewish captives, whom he had selected on account of their beauty and height, he ordered to be sent after him, that they might grace his triumph in Rome. Okay, so here you go. So now that's the slave ship for you. There's Deuteronomy 28 showing you that it's not speaking of the literal land of Egypt, but like we're saying, this is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Okay, so slavery, bondage. That's what Egypt represents, slave, servant, as you can see. So that's what Egypt means to us. Okay, is slavery and bondage. All right, so but it says Titus. Let me get that out. All right, so it says Titus enjoyed a safe and speedy voyage, and received a warm welcome in Rome. His father and his younger brother Domitian, who had lately returned to Rome after quelling at revolt among the Germans, came out to meet him. So it says Titus enjoyed a safe and speedy voyage. Again, voyage, another, for sailing, that all goes in together, and received a warm welcome in Rome. Okay, so just to show that he had sent slaves to Italy, Rome. I just brought out the other article showing that this article that there were a lot of Jews went over there into Rome. All right, so from there, let's get, and also I wanted to add, because you had a lot of Israelites already living there. That's the stuff that people act like there wasn't any Jews and they weren't living there, but you already had them living there. All right, like Second Maccabees 1:1, you had Acts 2, 5, and then 9 to 10, and then also Acts 18:1, showing you that we were also living in Rome, Italy. Obviously, Paul was a Roman citizen. Okay. All right, so let's get something else. Here we go. So, all right, so this book is the Encyclopedia of the Jewish Diaspora, okay, by Mark Arklish, and this is on page 453. So, also showing that he sent Jews to Carthage. So, my thing also is, here it is, all these Jews are going. And I'm going to show at the end how we know that they're black from the Romans, from, the Greeks, so on and so forth. But it's just showing you, here are these Jews going into North Africa, Egypt, obviously. And where did they just disappear to? Now all of a sudden they're white Jews. They're the people in the land now that you guys, because it's obvious what y'all believe. If we're Hamites and we're not the Jews and, all of this, who are the real Jews then? But just I'm gonna show you, they went more into Western Africa, and then from there the slave trade. All right, but just to show, yeah, what happened to all these Jews. So yeah, y'all want to talk? Oh, they went into Egypt. They went by slave, which I already just smashed that. But yeah, where did they go from there? Did they? How did they become white? Just like the Gamil Nassar said, y'all left here black, and then y'all come back white. All right, so but this is migrations of Jews into West Africa. I'm just getting to the point. The communities where the cursor is, these communities were augmented by subsequent arrivals of Jews after the destruction of the second Jerusalem temple in 70 CE, when 30,000 Jewish slaves were settled throughout Carthage by the Roman Emperor Titus. Okay, so, and then we look here again. Here's Carthage. So, I mean, it's more logical from Jerusalem to take a ship to Carthage, because if you're going to take a ship, Alexandria over here to Italy, same thing, Carthage all the way over here. They could have traveled through the desert, but again, if y'all going to try to make that stick, it's more logical for ships, because it says he took ships from Alexandria to Italy, and then he's over here in Jerusalem sending slaves to Carthage. So, all right, so it's more logical when you're looking at it like that. All right, so let's further show. Let's get. This is book 7 and chapter 2. All right, so it says, now at the same time, so back in the Josephus, book 7, chapter 2, now at the same time that Titus Caesar lay at the siege of Jerusalem, did Vespasian go on board a merchant ship and sailed from Alexandria to Rhodes. So here is Alexandria, and then Rhodes is in the area of, I believe, Greece. But just looking at this map, we see here's Alexandria, and then here is Rhodes. So but my thing is, you notice how those different places that I just read where Titus went to Rome and Italy, it's saying those keywords. He sailed, ship, but no mention of a ship, of he sent them by ship, or he came from Jerusalem by ship to Egypt. So again, showing y'all are liars, man. Saying that he sent Jews by ship and was throwing them overboard. The Josephus. If you have some evidence outside that shows that, then show it. But when you're saying that it was Josephus that said it, then I mean it's just making y'all look bad, man. Y'all looking real bad right now. But it says, and sailed from Alexandria to Rhodes. Okay, and whence he sailed away in ships with 3 rows of oars, and as he touched at several cities that laid in his road, he was joyfully received by them all, and so passed over from Ionia into Greece. Okay, because we know like I said, Rhodes is in Greece. All right, so just to show that Vespasian sailed that way. Okay, so artifacts. So let's get these. Alright, so that's pretty much what I wanted to show. This is, like I said, this is part 1. Let me get this. This is from the AfricanHolocaust.net. And the book is called Ella Hughley's The Truth About the Black Biblical Hebrew Israelites. Alright, but she quotes the noted Jewish historian Josephus from his book The Great Roman Jewish War 66 to 70, where he writes about the Jewish dispersion and captivity. General Vespasian and his son Caesar Titus fought against the Jews. Millions of Jews fled into Africa, among other places, fleeing from Roman persecution and starvation during the siege. Okay, so we see that. But and just show that Titus sent them to Carthage as well as to Egypt. And like I said, I'm going to show in the next 2 volumes, or the next part actually, with the Jews in Spain and Portugal, and then also the Jews of Balid El Sudan. All right, so let's see if I had anything else. Slovakia. Okay, so alright, so this is from the Jews. This is from Titus, his stories by Titus, and I brought this out in my videos. Jesus Christ is a black man, and the second part to that, with the Revelation 1:14 and Daniel 7:9. So it says, many assure us that the Jews are descended from those Ethiopians who were driven by fear and hatred to emigrate from their home country when Cepheus was king. So just to show that, if we know that the Ethiopians were black people, but I also want to get this real quick. This is Genesis 50. Let me see. 50. Okay, yeah, 50 and 11. So here it is when this is when Jacob was being buried. Alright, so this is when Jacob was being buried. And see what the Canaanites say in verse 11. And it says, and when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, this is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians, wherefore the name of it was called Abel Mazarium, which is beyond Jordan. Okay, so they confused them, and this happened in many scriptures, and again, just to show that it's not about, oh, they must have been wearing Egyptian attire, that's why he was confused for an Egyptian. No, because even with the whole thing with Paul, you think Paul was wearing Egyptian clothing, and here it is, he's talking about Christ and everything like that, yeah, he's in Egyptian clothing. No. So it was just to show you that we were compared to them, because yeah, we looked similar to them. But this is but just bringing that tacticus. So for them to even say that the Jews are descended from Ethiopians is showing you that they knew that they were people of color. Okay, so okay, here it is. So this is back to the works of Josephus, page 479. So it says, in Egypt, therefore, this nation is powerful because the Jews were originally Egyptians, and because the land wherein they inhabit, since they went thence, is near to Egypt. So it's near to Egypt. So that just to also show, again, it's close. So it's no need of a ship to go there. They also removed into Cyrene, which is in North Africa, because this land adjoined to the government of Egypt, as well as does Judea, or rather was formerly under the same government. And this is what Strabo says, which is a Greek. He was a Greek. Let's just get that real quick, just to show who he was. So yes, he was a geographer, philosopher, and a historian. Alright, so and let's also see where Cyrene is, which is Libya. Alright, so we know that's in Africa as well, as you can see. Alright, so got Cyrene again. So here it is, Jews going all throughout Africa, but yet none of them stayed in Africa. And yeah, like I'm saying, where did they all go? So none of them. You can't think that none of them ever would have got put on a slave ship and came over to the Americas. You know what I'm saying? So, But the point is that the Jews were originally Egyptians. Now we know it's not because they're Hamites, because we became a nation in Egypt, and also, like I said, we were living. A lot of times, like you had the Elephantine, you had a lot of Jews. If you look at the Elephantine papyrus, shows you that there was Jews in Egypt living, and they were trying to, I believe, they were trying to keep the Passover, so they were sending letters to Jerusalem. But just to show, we are always living in Egypt. So that's why it's saying Jews were originally Egyptians, because, again, we were living there. We're familiar with the area, so on and so forth. But, again, we were compared to Egyptians as well. All right, so that's another cut just to show for those thinking, oh, yeah, where does it say that, they were black or anything like that? So, so, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to touch into.